everyone, this is Trey with Student of the Leaf. Alright, so I actually have a pretty big announcement. Yes, we are starting to expand. Yes, we went ahead and planted those seeds, gave it a little bit of nourishment, watered it a little bit, and the fruits of our labor is starting to show. With the inclusion of Daniel Ravanelli from 505 Cigar Review Show. Yes, he's going to be a great addition. I had the pleasure of connecting with Daniel Ravanelli through our online group, People of the Leaf. Yes, it's a fine group of gentlemen. And hopefully in the future we'll get some female membership as well too. But you know what? It's not even a membership. It's almost like a club, a collection of people who enjoy cigars. And yes, we have a little bit of fun as well too. So had a pleasure of meeting Daniel Ravanelli through People of the Leaf, and it come to find out we're actually going to be at TPE at the same exact time. And so we decided to, let's go ahead and officially, shake hands and put some faces in person to those names and videos and such. So we decided to meet up, hang out for a little bit, and discuss life in the Leaf. And he decided that he believed in Student of the Leaf as well too, and sharing the knowledge that he has. So every Friday we are going to debut Student of the Leaf only content from 505 Cigar Review Show. So go ahead, sit back, and welcome to the 505 Cigar Review Show on Student of the Leaf.
Hello everybody, my name is Daniel Ravanelli. A lot of people call me Big D. I operate the channel on YouTube and Instagram, 505 Cigar Review. I have been smoking cigars for well over 20 years. I used to work in the tobacco industry, and so everything I talk about is based upon things that I've learned from smoking cigars. And today, one of my favorite cigars of all time, and also one of the best beginner cigars that you can pick up that will be a staple in your humidor no matter how advanced you get. And today we're going to be smoking the Padron 2000 Natural. Look at this beautiful stick. So we're going to go into an introduction on how to smoke the cigar, picking up tasting notes from smells, tastes on your tongues, and for some of you more adventurous newer smokers, maybe into retrohale. The biggest thing I can teach and biggest question I am asked is, I never can pick up a lot of those flavors. Don't be discouraged. It takes years to pick up your palate, to get to be able to taste everything, to be able to smell everything. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. And don't be scared to not venture into more fuller bodied sticks for years. It took me 5 years to build into getting into fuller bodied sticks. Comfort level is the biggest thing. So that's what we're going to do. If you're not familiar with how to smoke a cigar, I'm going to teach you. There's multiple different types of cutters you can use. One is a V cut. You can cut and make a V in it. Another is what they call a perfect cut. This way, you don't cut too far, too deep. This is just going to give you the right where you're supposed to be. Or you can use a guillotine cut, which then you cut. Be careful you don't cut too much. If you're going to use the guillotine, there's this cap. You want to cut right at where that cap is at to make sure you're not cutting too deep. The perfect cut is actually going to cut right to where that cap is at, because that's how it's designed to cut. And as is the V cut, because it has a block on it Today we will go with just the perfect cut so you can see. There you go. I recommend that if you would like to, please follow me on Instagram, 505_cigar_review, or follow me over on my YouTube channel, 505 Cigar Review Show. I put out 5 videos a week on YouTube. Then they're geared towards small batch, boutique, and really the cigars are for everybody. But if you have a more advanced palate, you would be able to understand a lot of some of the nuances that I present in the cigar. So now that we have the cigar cut, let's get what we call pre-light smells, draws. Let's see what we can pick up. Go slow. Really smell the cigar. What do we get? With Padron, this is a Nicaraguan Puro, which means all the tobacco in this is grown in Nicaragua. Okay? And all of the tobacco from this cigar is grown on the Padron farm. So, it's also a Padron Puro. Okay? What are you smelling off of that wrapper? I pick up a lot of sweetness off of it. I also pick up light wood notes as well. And it smells so good. That sweetness with that wood just really, think of it like this. In the spring, late spring, when the trees are like starting to get leaves on them, that smell, you get that kind of woody, sweet smell. That's kind of what you get off of the wrapper. Okay? The foot. Smell the foot. What are you getting from those cigars that are wrapped inside? And get that right up to your nose, because you really want to smell. And take slow, deep breaths with your nose. You really is creamy sweetness that comes through, almost like a coffee creamer. Next, the end that we cut, let's go on ahead and just what do you taste? What comes through onto your tongue? What is on your lips? Picking up some of that dull woodiness that we smelled, I can taste on my tongue. Some of that sweetness is covering my lips, coming in, and light notes of pepper. Okay, this is not an overwhelming stick. It is low medium to medium in the bodied. Okay, next is how you light. I'm a match guy, but one of the biggest mistakes people use when they use a lighter is that they get it right on it. You want to hold the lighter back, and you're not moving the lighter, you're moving the cigar around to get an even burn. Moving the lighter doesn't do anything. You think you're getting everything, but what you're doing is, by moving the lighter around, you're actually torching parts of the wrapper. You're burning, you're getting inconsistent burn. So make sure if you use a lighter, you hold it back and you move the cigar. That way you can make sure and see that you're getting everything. Same thing after you get that lit up, the first couple of puffs that you get in, you hold the cigar down or out at an angle. Okay? So I use matches. That's my preferred use. And I also kind of give it a little bit of a toast. Okay? This is a soft flame, so you can go closer to the stick with it. And if you noticed, I turned the cigar as I was lighting it with the match. So there you go. We're lit. So what are we going to get? I'm excited because I love this cigar. Like, the fact that I just started lighting it, I've smoked this cigar so much and I love this cigar that immediately I haven't really gotten much flavor out and my mouth is already watering. You know, I choose to, when I'm reviewing, I only pair with water. I want to keep my palate clean. And for you starting out, I recommend water because the water is going to help keep your palate clean. It's also going to help you pick up more flavors and to enhance, you know, until you get to that point where you can start pairing other things with it to flavor enhance. So, what are we going to get in right as we start smoking? I take that smoke all the way in, and I go all the way to the back of my palate with it. Okay? All the way to the back. What flavors you pick up? Picking up that sweetness, that almost like a woody earthiness to it, as if you walk to a tree and you smelled that bark, that earthy woodiness coming from the bark. And then this almost white black mixed pepper that just kind of at the back of your palate into your throat. You can feel it. It tingles. Your lips are tingling. Some of that pepperiness is in the lips. I like to take in all the aroma. Really sweet creaminess is what you're smelling in the aroma. Take that in. Smell. What do you smell? It's sweet. It's creamy. Almost, you could compare it to a coffee creamer, almost. And if you're adventurous enough and you want to try to retro help taking it all the way back, blow the smoke out through your nose. And you do it slowly, not fast, slow, because you want to be able to have those senses in your nose, taste everything. Just black pepper. And it's not overly heavy, but it stinks. And that's what you want. So I'm going to smoke into this a little bit. I'm going to come back when I get to about the first third. You do the same thing. Take this cigar, smoke it. Let's compare our notes. What are you tasting throughout this smoke? Now you know what we got when we lit. What are we going to get as we get deeper into it? So as we're about halfway into that first third, what are you tasting? Are you smoking slow? Are you allowing that smoke to coat your mouth, coat into your throat? What are you getting? Picking up now, instead of that mixed white and black pepper, it's just a white pepper that's coating the back end of your mouth. That earthy woodiness is there, and some nutty. You should be picking up some nuttiness that's hitting you kind of right in the front of your mouth with that sweetness. That aroma is that creaminess is still there. You're picking up little light notes of. You should also be picking up some light nutty notes as well with that sweet, creamy in the aroma. And you're still getting that black pepper in the retro. Are you getting that? If you're not, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Nothing's going to be wrong if you don't get that. But as you see the burn, that's the thing about Padron. That burn is almost flawless. It's just burning like a champ. So I'm going to continue down and in. What else are you picking up? What else? We'll meet back at when we hit into that end of that first third. All right, so now we're coming into the end of that first third. We still got a beautiful burn going and that ash. Stacking dimes, as they call it, because it just looks like they're dimes stacked on top of each other. What flavors are you picking up? So by now that earthy wood should be coming into more of a light char on that wood. That nuttiness should have a bit of saltiness coming in, and then you still getting that white pepper in the back of your throat on there. That aroma now is almost a sweet, creamy, buttery almond you should be smelling. And then, of course, that retro's keeping that black pepper running through. Now, tapping that ash, if you can, you should be using a light tap. And if that ash isn't falling, it's not ready to come. You got to let that ash dictate when it wants to fall. You also want to look at, after you tap the ash, how is it looking? Is it straight? Are you smoking slow enough? Does it have a cone? Are you smoking too fast? If you're smoking too fast with that cone, you're making that tobacco burn hotter. And if it's burning hotter, you're picking up bitterness out of it because it's going too fast. You want to smoke at a slow and steady pace. Sometimes 1, maybe 2 puffs a minute, depending on the cigar. The cigar will dictate how many puffs you need to give. Okay, let's tap the ash, even though it's not ready to come out just yet. How are we looking? Well, as you can see, I've got a slight cone coming off of my ash. So I'm smoking a little too fast. So I need to slow that down. And that's on me because I really like this cigar a lot. And it tastes so good. So I need to back off and slow down. So when we get into that second third, we'll tap that ash again, and we'll see, did I slow down enough that I now have more of a straight line coming? Because now I've got just a bit of a cone coming through on that ash. Again, we're taking slow puffs. Oh, I love that smell. Just that sweet, creamy butteriness. And then that almond just really accentuates the smell. It's all part. What you taste, what you smell, and what you're tasting through your nose. It all adds to the experience of the smoke. Some people tell you if you don't retrohale, you're not smoking a cigar. But for a lot of you, when you're newer, you're just not ready yet. And that's okay. You can build up to getting to that point. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't let somebody tell you you're not experiencing the full taste of the cigar if you don't retro. That's not true. It's an added flavor to the smoke, but you're not missing out a whole lot. As you get more advanced, it just adds to the enjoyment of the cigar. So let's come back at the end of this second third and tell me what you get. I want to know. All right, we're coming back. Look at that burn. Still beautiful, that ash. Let's tap that ash and see what we get. Would you pick up flavors? That char should have been a bit more prevalent in the taste on your tongue with that wood. It's definitely a soft woodiness that you should be also tasting from that char. That nuttiness has gotten lighter, but that white pepper has kind of upped itself and should now be going from that back of your throat to almost the back of your tongue. The aroma, that sweetness, that sweet, creamy butteriness should still be there. That nuttiness should be mixing with almost like a light coffee should be what you're smelling coming through. It should be, that smell is wonderful. And of course that retro is keeping with that black pepper. And it's becoming more prevalent and a little bit heavier in there. That retro, that pepper and the retro should be the heaviest thing that should be in this entire smoke. This should be just a nice light, medium-bodied smoke. So let's tap that ash. Did I slow down my smoking enough? got almost just a tiny little cone coming through. So, slowed it down enough. Enjoy the cigar. Don't be in a rush. Enjoy. Take in everything that the cigar has to offer. You know, don't be worried if all you taste is one flavor that I mentioned. All you smell is one flavor. You're on the right path. Don't think that you have to taste everything I taste. You know, again, I've been doing this for a long time. I've trained my palate. You know, it's set. It knows what to expect. It knows flavors to expect. So don't be dissatisfied. If you're not getting what I get, you'll get there. Don't be in a rush to get to heavier, fuller bodied sticks. That's how you blow your palate out. And you don't want to blow your palate out. Because, you know, once you do that, then you're not really tasting anything. And take breaks. If you smoke quite a bit for a few weeks or months, take a break for a week. It's okay. You don't need to smoke every day. You don't need to smoke heavy every day. You don't constantly have to have a cigar in your mouth. Take it easy. Pace yourself. You'll know when... I know when I need to take a break because flavors start muddling in my mouth. And then I can't separate them out. That's when I know I need to take a break. So, let's get into this final third on the cigar where flavors just start popping. Start popping in your mouth, they'll start popping in your nose. So let's get there. So we're almost at this point now where we want to take the band off. And you want to be careful when you take the band off. Sometimes the band is glued on there tight and you can risk damaging the cigar or the wrapper. It'll rip. Sometimes there's glue stuck onto it and you end up tearing. You want to be careful. And if it doesn't want to come, smoke down into the band a little bit more to get it warm, to let that glue kind of separate so it makes it easier to pull off that band. There you go. So now you have the band. There you go. I'm going to continue down. A little bit more to go on the smoke, and then I'll come back and we'll give our final thoughts on what we thought about the cigar. So as we're winding down this stick, what'd you get? I got this nice, beautiful kind of charred wood, and then almost like a s'more, just this sweetness, this graham crackery taste in my mouth with that char. Oh, and it's just wonderful. My mouth is just, it's just dripping. What you get in the, and there's then also that white pepper has moved up into the forefront of that. So that char with that pepper, and then that sweet, almost s'moresness coming in on the back end. What about in the aroma? That buttery creaminess is still there, and we've added in some vanilla. And then in that retro, that black pepper still there, but we've also added in a little bit of woody notes in with that black pepper. Such a delicious stick. One of the very first cigars I ever smoked, and I was hooked after that. It's been a staple in my humidor. It's one of my go-to sticks. I just know if I don't want to think about anything, I just want to enjoy a cigar, it's a cigar I grab. It's just there, it's consistent, and you've seen this burn throughout. This burn's just been flawless. That's Padron. You're going to get a consistently good smoke every time. I hope you enjoyed the journey. I don't like to look at myself as a reviewer. I like to look at myself as a guide. I'm taking the cigar. I'm giving you what to expect. You're going to make your own journey with the cigar. But as the guide, I've kind of given you what you can expect along that journey, should you choose to go on it. Because that path you pave on there is going to be your own, and it's your own experience and your own enjoyment. Just note that throughout that journey, I've told you what you can expect. Doesn't mean that's what you're going to get, but what you can expect. Take your time, enjoy the cigar, enjoy the flavors. If you have any questions, please feel free to light up the comment section. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. hit me up on Instagram in a DM, 505_cigar_review. I'll be happy to provide you with any information I can give you and to help you along with your journey. So thank you to Trey. These will be continuing videos that will come out where I'll continue on helping you with your journey throughout the world of cigars. So, till next time, I'm Daniel Ravanelli. You can call me Big D. And this has been the 505 Cigar Review Show, exclusive content for Student of the Leaf. So thank you, Trey. Thank you to everybody out there. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Daniel Ravanelli, for coming on board and actually, letting go of some of that information that you have. Yes, I'm pretty sure that whether you're just getting started in the cigar industry or you've been in it for a good while in the cigar culture, there's something for you to learn. So, on that note, in the future videos, yes, you will be graced by his face and his face only Friday nights around 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, just in time for your weekend. Go ahead and browse his video and learn something. He has a wealth of knowledge. So on that note, I will say, once again, Daniel, welcome to the team. And if you have a chance, head on over to his channel, 505 Cigar Review Show. And he has tons of videos there. But in the meantime, remember to keep smoking, keep enjoying, and keep learning, because we're all students of the leaf.